There's a story in the Bible about a Good Samaritan, which is kind of ironic because we use the term Good Samaritan to refer to anybody that does a good deed or does something nice. We see somebody, it's kind of like a badge of honor. If a guy helps an elderly lady with her groceries, we say, hey, that guy's a Good Samaritan. Somebody drops their wallet and the lady runs up and gives them their wallet back. Hey, she's such a Good Samaritan. But the actual term Good Samaritan, which Jesus never says, but the term Good Samaritan is actually kind of an oxymoron. It's like we had to qualify this Samaritan as being good as opposed to every other Samaritan. It's kind of offensive when you think about it. It's like you come across a black person who speaks proper English, or a white guy who loves hip hop, or a woman who's a CEO. It's like you have to qualify them or put them in a category of being exceptional or the exception to the rule because in the back of your head, you have this image of what the rest of those people are like. It's kind of the same way with Christians too. When you see a Christian who's actually living out their faith, who's actually not being perfect, but just walking in what they believe, you kind of have to qualify it and say that that person's a true Christian. This whole Good Samaritan thing, it only comes up because Jesus is having a debate with a Jewish lawyer. And the topic of debate is, who do I have an obligation to love? How do I define who is my neighbor? How do I know who I'm supposed to be concerned about? To tell you the truth, it's always easy for us to love and to have compassion on people that look like us, that like the same music that we like, that work where we work. But what about the people that are different than us? What about the person whose sexual orientation is different? Their religion is different. What made this story so great for Jesus is the fact that the Samaritans and the Jews, I mean, we all know they didn't get along, but it's deeper than that. There's layers to it. The Samaritans and the Jews, they argued over religion, they argued over land, they argued over their bloodlines. Their animosity that they shared was multi-layered. So in the midst of all of this, Jesus tells this Jewish lawyer, I want you to go and do just like the Samaritan. I want you to love people who don't look like you, who you don't share a relationship with. What's crazy is that Jesus doesn't leave the Samaritan issue alone. If you go to Acts chapter 1, verse number 8, the promise of Jesus is that once the Holy Spirit comes upon you, you'll be witnesses of God in Jerusalem, in Judea, Samaria, and the uttermost parts of the world. There's that Samaria again. Here Jesus once again is challenging us to go out into Samaria. So my question is, where are your Samarias? Who are your Samaritans? Who is God calling you to love and have compassion on? Who are the people that God has challenged you to love, challenged you to be concerned about, even though they don't look like you? Maybe we should stop focusing on being a good Samaritan. Maybe the focus is just on being a Samaritan, just on being a neighbor, on being someone who loves and is concerned about people. My name is Pastor Dwight Radcliff of the Message Center, and there's a word for you here. God bless you.